It's okay. It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay. Off your mic.
Chai! Now wow, people wey supposed talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo. Man of the masses, my ego don't come, oh yeah. My ego diary politico, oh yeah. My ego don't come, oh yeah. This man not the off in mind, oh yeah. My ego don't come, oh yeah. Aha, now you not done here. All these bad politicians, then we call themselves politicians. When they thief our money, we no want make the common man get waiting supposed get for this country. And I never hear something. Now go hear one, my ego, you go show na paper. My ego diary political. So my people make you shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we laugh, oh yo yo.
Hello there, brethren. So good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is Mayegun live. So thank you so much for joining me. Please hear the broadcast. After reading the caption of the broadcast, the description of the broadcast, then liking the broadcast, hear it. So invite your friends and your not so friendly friends and tell them to join us. The Mayegun is live. And mind you, the line is also very much opened, okay? You can phone in and maybe make your own contribution as well. So thank you very much if you have done all of that already. So now, tonight, the news of the sack of Wale Idun, your Minister of Finance, your Finance Minister, the guy behind the voodoo economy that KOOLU has been running. They call it a reform, and they have succeeded in, manipulating the data to suit whatever narrative they wanted to put out there. And they've been doing it for nearly 3 years now. So Wale Idun, the guy who nearly, or maybe he did, nearly, right, disgraced the KOOLU before they kicked him out. And what happened? Last year, KOOLU boldly told the gathering of his praise singers, the court fiestas, that he already met his revenue target, he called it, revenue target for year 2025, as far back as August, only for Wale Idun to break the news that that's not true. It was under KOOLU and this your finance minister, Wale Edun, that Nigeria, for the first time in the history of Nigeria was operating four different budgets in a single year. 2023 supplementary budget was still operational as far back as June 2025. They had 2024 budget, supplementary budget of 2024, 2025 budgets. And as we speak, Nigeria is currently operating about a 3 budget again, right? 2025 budget, 2025 supplementary budget, 2026 budget. No thanks to this whack career looters who are telling Nigerians that they are doing reform and all that. So that's what we're going to start from this evening. This afternoon, Bayo Onofunuga announced the sack of Wale Idun. Last year, it was reportedly ill, he was unwell, that he ended up in the UK hospital for some times. And in fact, they had to stage a kind of like a photo op for him to show that, oh, he wasn't really sick. He only came here for medical checkup and other stuff, right? So they said he was really not well. You know, he's an old guy. He's probably about 70 now. So Wale Idun, and also the politics, there is also kind of like a behind the scene politics reported. I mean, I'm interested in what they did with Nigeria's economy, what they have done to you in the last 2.5 years, put it that way. So last time, Wale Idun and others appeared before the Senate. It seemed that it was more or less like on a different script. Okay, here, his last encounter, at least publicly.
I think before you, I can brag. The revenue, we have met our target of revenue for the whole year. We met it in August.
One debt to society later.
Right now, funding is fully available for the 2024 capital budget that has been finalized and is in the gateway up to September. Funding is available for a portion, and the other portion, the plan is to roll it over to 2026 budget. Likewise, for the 2025 capital budget, funding has been made, warrants have been issued, and funding is available for 30% of that budget, with the plan, with the cooperation and the support of the National Assembly to roll over the 75%. When we look at borrowing, we have roughly 152 trillion naira outstanding. And that figure was about 70 trillion naira in 2023 or so. But what accounts for the difference? 30 trillion, as we all know, was the bringing into the light, bringing into the books of the government of ways and means that were previously just ignored and kept outside. Another 50 trillion was accounted for by the fact that the exchange rate doubled. I mean, central bank in its monetary policy focused on clearing backlogs and bringing in foreign reserves, and we know how successful they have been. So of 152 trillion naira, 80 was essentially not new borrowing. It was more regularization and adjustment.
All mentioned here today that we have 2024, we are in 2025, but you have 1 year revenue. Use it to manage 2-year budget. So even if you met the 1 year revenue, how will you hear the Honorable Minister say, I'm paying 2024, whereas you are taking 2025 revenue to pay 2024. So when Mr. President said, when we said, because as of the work we've all done, that we've met revenue target, which is annually, but you are using 1 year revenue to manage more than 1 year budget. That is why you are seeing the outstanding, and which is what Honorable Minister is trying to do. That now let's have a consolidated budget. So because if I have 1 year revenue, let me use it to manage 1 year expenditure. But in a situation that I have a year revenue to manage multi-years revenue expenditure, we will continue to have this imbalance.
Macroeconomic reforms.
Nuisance, Lele.
A very long time. And you actually need to understand what they have done to Nigeria before you probably will get, the reason why I'm actually cussing them. Did you see that one that was shouting like Agberu? That one that shouted the last one there? So what the Minister of Finance is trying to explain to you is that we are using 1 year revenue to sponsor 2-year budgets. What they have done, I will tell you, and generations will have to pay for it, by the way. When these criminals came in, right, Bokwari, who printed about 25 or there about $1 trillion naira, and then 27 trillion naira, and he was to pay back 30 trillion, but he didn't pay it back. It's called the ways and means. So when KOOLU and these criminals, when they came in, the first thing they did before they started printing their own money was to go and cook the book and say, oh, you know what? This ways and means, money printed by Bokwari, this was supposed to be deducted from the earnings or the share of the federal government and other states government as well, right? Deducted from the source before they give them their federal allocation every month. So KOOLU now put a stop. Said all the states, they shouldn't worry about paying back that money Bokwari printed, because Bokwari printed the money and then shared the money when the crude oil, Nigeria's crude oil, was being stolen on a grand scale. So they have no money. So they started printing money and they were sharing it to the state governors, sharing the money to the state governors. So at some point, they were also taking loans. Bokwari told Emefiole, right, to print over 8 trillion naira in total. And this money was preserved aside to be given to the state governors as loans. So when Thiefnubu came and appointed Kadobi Oduduwa Emefiole, Thiefnubu now stopped that repayment. So that, his own subsidy remover and every other shady things they wanted to do behind, all these guys won't have to raise they won't have to raise a limb. And that is, since you are not, your own allocation is no longer being deducted. So these two guys, Oduduwa Emefiole, and then this Wale Idun, they brought about something called securitization of the loan, which means Thiefnubu won't pay, it was not like Thiefnubu per se, but the federal government and the state government, they won't pay back all of the money printed and collected from Emefiole. They won't pay it back for the next 40 years. You get that? So then the state governors, all of them started saying, Thiefnubu has cleared the debt. They don't have to pay it anymore. So nobody's going to deduct all their debt again, from the state allocation. So they are going to get more money. That's what they sold to them. And by so doing, Thiefnubu started printing his own money. I don't know if you know that in the last 2.5, 3 years of this KOOLU, they have printed more than 40 trillion naira in ways and means, and they've hidden it. They've eaten it. They continue to roll out fake figures that does not actually correlate with the reality. World Bank, who is giving them all this free money, by the way, they've come out to tell us now that throughout the 8 years of Bukwari, plus the 5 years of that of a Goodluck Berry Jolantan, the Nigeria's debt was at a 70. I mean, Bukwari printed a 75. Borrowed a 75 trillion naira. Jonathan left the debt of a 13 trillion naira. Add them together, probably 87 trillion naira. Guess what? Tinubu himself has printed more than 76. Borrowed, put it that way. Debt 76 trillion naira in just 2.5 years. All of this cooked in a book that nobody can open. But in reality, capital projects in Nigeria are not funded. Yeah, when they talk about all these, their capital projects, road, projects and that project or that, except for the ones that Thiefnubu called his own legacy projects, unbudgeted for, no appropriation, no nothing. And those are the kind of the coastal road that they are bragging about. It is not appropriated on. There was no National Assembly oversight on it. Just, they call it Thiefnubu's legacy project, funded by him and from a special fund created by these rogues. They won't tell you where that comes from. It's all coming from loan and loan and loan. So when they told people that they were going to save money from subsidy removal, oh, they're going to do this and cushion the effect of subsidy removal in the long run. Now people have been abandoned. Subsidy on petroleum products removed, subsidy on education removed, subsidy on electricity removed, subsidy on almost everything removed. Right? And then people are asking, where is the money? Why do you guys keep borrowing if indeed you are making more money now? That's what voodoo economy means. It is about the more you see, and so the more you look, the less you see. The more you look, the less you see. Voodoo economy. To the point that in 2025, they could only give, I think, 150 million naira to the entire Ministry of Health capital project. What does that mean? So it simply means that the entire Ministry of Health in Nigeria received 150 million naira for capital project, not salaries and all that. Projects like, we need to upgrade this hospital, we need to build new hospitals, we need to train a new, money for all those things, right? They couldn't give them. Do you know how much they gave to the Nigerian military last year? As part of their own budget, 7%. You heard me right? 7% of what they budgeted for them was what they actually gave to them in 2025. And the same lie of, we're operating 2 budgets. How did annual budget turn to 2-3 budgets in the hands of these supposed voodoo economists? Because it's all lies, right? So Wale Idun has been shown the door, and a lot of his own supporters are saying it's pretty much sad. They wanted to use health ground for the reasons for his removal, right? Others believes that no, there's even more to that. But who cares? Nigeria is still in the hands of these rogues, and they will do what the Scottish people call the fuck all. They will do fuck all with Nigeria, but we don't know for how long. So the oppositions themselves are raging. They've been calling the presser every now and then. They have also managed to stage some protests that are not really effective. Right? So they asked KOOLU to remove Amokwiton, the INEC chairman, because they believe that he is compromised. He had this tweet back in 2023, which they are currently saying that it is not his. Well, it is actually his Twitter. So that one is in the background. So today, Rufai, the Kaduna little finger. In fact, there are some things coming out now. Again, they're just pieces of information that end up forming the whole thing very soon. So they said that apart from the challenges being faced by this their ADC coalition, there is a strategic move by KOOLU to ensure that the likes of Rufai, especially him, will not be around when if this ADC goes into their primaries or whatever, right? So the fallout from that, somebody like him will never be there to help them glue it together, because they really wanted them done for, right? Before the second half of this year. That's almost here. So Rufai was brought back to their court today for his bail hearing. He is currently being held for looting Kaduna State for corruption. He is accused of stealing or mismanaging over 400 billion naira, actually. And he claimed that, no, it is political persecution, like they were persecuting me because I've decided to join the guys who are going to remove a KOOLU. Anyway, I'll take you to their court today, as well as his own lawyers' reactions. This was in Kaduna. There were other series of things, like people protesting, but that's not that. This evening. So, Rufai, the Kaduna little finger.
You understand? So don't sit around here and mock as if anybody died. Nobody died.
Leave minor. Leave minor, come. Minor, come. Allah is sufficient for you, Wale. Allah is sufficient.
So they want to keep him there. There are actually people who said that they're planning to keep him there until after the elections. So I was like, that sounds good. Sounds like right. Because what time are we now? April. I remember, like, back in December 2022, they were in London dancing Buga. Olololo Buga. How many of you saw that video? Yeah, that was just 2 months before the charade. It was a prominent guy in Thiefnubu's team. Remember the teamship? So he was there to tell the world or their audience at Chatham House in London in December 2022 of Thiefnubu's plan to combat insecurity. He was specifically called to speak on that teamship. So right now, he won't be witnessing 2027 elections as that of the 2023 elections, okay? So that's Rufai, the Kaduna little fingers. Mind you, apart from the apart from his evil criminality himself, that's Rufai, is currently being somehow hero worshipped by his own admirers, who believes that he is being persecuted by KOOLU because he's the only person who can get Tinubu out of that office, because he was the one who got him there in the first place. So they are angry. And in fact, their youth, the ADC youth, granted their own presser this afternoon, calling on the rest of the world to call on Thiefnubu not to destroy democracy, because you can't be hunting your opposition, your this, your blah, 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 blah. Canary Dino, the domestic Canary Dino himself also joined these other pressers of the opposition press kind of conference to reel out all of the failures of Thiefnubu and why he knows that Nigerians won't vote for him. That's what Dino said. Nigerians won't vote for him. Therefore, Thiefnubu wanted to use all power, right, to bury the opposition even before the elections. So I'll take you to this one first, where the ADC youth read their own riot act or something. Save our soul.
The press, fellow Nigerians, and defenders of our hard-earned democracy. At the precious crossroads, where the pillars of our republic, justice, the rule of law, and the sanctity of ballots are being systematically dismantled by an administration more interested in consolidating power than in governing with integrity. Today, I speak not just as a concerned citizen, but as a voice for the millions who see the shadows of tyranny lingering over our nation. On the political witch hunt of Abubakar Malami-san and Malam Nasir Rufai. For months, we have witnessed a coordinated state-sponsored assault on the former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, and Malam Nasir Rufai witch hunting. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, colleagues, and fellow Nigerians, thank you for joining us today. We are gathered here not merely to discuss politics, but to confront a pressing issue that threatens the very foundation of our democracy: the misuse of state institutions for political witch hunting. In recent years, we have witnessed a troubling pattern. The ruling party, the APC, has consistently deployed investigations and allegations not as instruments of justice, but as weapons of intimidation. This practice undermines the credibility of our institutions and erodes public trust in governance. Let me emphasize, witch hunting is not about accountability. It is about silencing dissent, pushing defectors, and creating fear. It is about turning the machinery of justice into a political tool. Abubakar Malami, former Attorney General. Despite serving under the APC, Malami became entangled in selective probes once political interest shifted. His case illustrates that loyalty offers no protection when political expediency demands otherwise. Malam Nasir Rufai, former governor of Kaduna State. After leaving the APC for the ADC, Malam Nasir Rufai faced relentless investigations and threats of arrest. He himself has spoken of persecution, describing these actions as politically initiated attempts to silence his voice. His experience serves as a warning to all who dare to stand against the ruling party. Broader implications. This culture of witch hunting has grave consequences. It undermines the independence of our institutions. It deepens political divisions and weakens national unity. It sends a dangerous message that power is valued above justice and loyalty above truth. Such practices cannot be allowed to define our democracy. Call to action.
You do not have to actually finish it, okay? So there, yeah, condemning Thiefnubu's regime using the state institutions to hunt the opposition. It's actually crazy, right? Scenarios like these will make people believe in, karma, sort of. Because at least these two individuals, Rufai, the Kaduna little finger, was a terror, right, to his own people, simply because of their religious difference, tribal difference. True story. The people of southern Kaduna lived the most horrific kind of life when Rufai took over the affairs of the state. This is a fact. He deliberately denied them what is meant to be their own constitutional right as part of a state in that state because of its vile, evil mind, so to say, and evil actions too. And these are things that happened. Victims abound. Some of the surviving victims are watching how the same Rufai is almost becoming a savior in the hands of another pharaoh, as they are putting it. You get that, like Nigerians in the hand of another pharaoh. Rufai could actually be a savior. Oh, you know what? Let's leave that for now. We need to get rid of Thiefnubu, the blah, the blah, the blah. But there are victims. I'm talking about real-time victims. When Rufai was Kaduna governor, he would send this same DSS to pick on people that ever said anything about himself or his government, to pick them up from any part of Nigeria, lock them up, deny them any form of, judicial access. No. They will lock them up. Oh, another guy, Malamun, Abubakar Malamun, the supposed Attorney General, the Minister of Justice, who turned out to become Attorney General in Yoruba, a deceiver general, Attorney General of Nigeria, the Minister of Injustice. Do you want me to start listing out all the injustices perpetrated by him? I mean, deliberately perpetrated by these guys. It was almost like, they were mini gods. I know people suffer short memories with something we call the Stockholm syndrome. In Nigeria, millions suffer that. That's why these characters can still very much have supporters, people who come out and hail them and, hey, leave him alone. What did you do? That stuff. So here is his own lawyer, Rufai, after the court denied his bail today and said that he should be taken back to custody. They will discuss his bail in June. That's like weeks after they supposed the party primaries must have been concluded. Well, it's part of their strategy. Here is what his lawyer had to say.
You understand? So don't sit around here and mock as if anybody died. Nobody died. This is a long-term conflict. It is not a short-term fight. So, brighten up your faces. Don't allow that man inside there. Don't allow these jokers to win in this battle against this man. Okay? This man changed the face of this town and this is the reward he's getting. And all of you are acting as if somebody died. Nobody died. In a conflict, you have good. Sometimes things work against in a conflict. So don't be frightened. Do you understand what I'm saying? So sit up. Don't go acting as if somebody died. Nobody died. All right? Stand up. We're going to take this battle and we're going to win. Gentlemen, the court in its wisdom decided that because Nasir Rufai is a former governor, therefore he is going to interfere with investigation. Therefore, he's not entitled to bail in an allegation of financial impropriety. So we are grateful to his lordship for the learning that he has shown, but we respectfully disagree. So that's the end of it. There's not much more to say.
So what's the next step?
The next step is to take the legal steps required to challenge it.
When is the adjourned date?
It's been adjourned to the first week of June, day to day, to deal with whatever is in the file.
Do you perceive any political undertone on all this?
From the beginning, everything about Nasir Rufai's travails have always been political. This is merely the legal arm of it. We will deal with what comes. They file papers, we reply. That's what the law requires us to do, and that's what the law says they should do. So their papers don't have politics written on top of their papers. They are legal papers. So we reply to them. That's all there is. There's nothing particularly difficult about that. So have a lovely day, gentlemen.
So El Rufai would have to come back in the first week of June. He was granted bail in one of those charges. It's got like about 4 cases. ICPC is charging him for looting Kaduna State when he was governor. That's what the ICPC, that's why they took him to Kaduna. So there is another DSS case where he said they also listen to their calls, right? Like as government listen to our calls, they also listen to government's calls too. Both showing that he listened to what Rufai Idun and others were doing. So we listen to their calls. So he is being charged for illegal wiretapping of government officials. DSS is charging him for that. There is also the EFCC case too. And that one is also about looting Kaduna State when he was governor. Financial misappropriation or financial impropriety. And there is another one which is raising a false alarm. That one is also being charged for that by the DSS. That is that Rufai Idun imported this colorless, odorless poison to Nigeria, certain kilogram. So he raised the alarm that he heard that the Nigerian government, through the office of Rufai Idun, imported this chemical to Nigeria, maybe to start killing opposition leaders, similar to what he said in 2014 when he accused the then president, of having the kill list. All right, that Jonathan had a list of how many opposition people he was going to kill before the elections in 2015. But that's a little thing for you, right? And of course, it also has the political undertone. I'm not going to rule that out, okay? Because the system is very much about protecting the criminals, right? Shielding them. And most, especially if you are part of the APC, you are expected, you are not expected to be scrutinized or even tried for any crime, corruption, or murder, or whatever. But the moment you get out of the fold, then your safety is no longer guaranteed. Or that immunity is no longer guaranteed. The guy they hired, in quotes, that is a Nafiu Bala, to lay claim to the ADC leadership, Nafiu Bala, and his friend, Abejide. They were supposed to hold their congress or convention in Abuja today. The same velodrome that Wiki denied the David Mark group, Atiku and the rest of them, right? The same velodrome at the National Stadium was granted this guy. But sadly, the ADC members who are supposed to participate in this convention, they didn't show up. Or maybe it's a different location. Young lady that recorded the venue earlier this morning, not even like nearly midday this morning, couldn't see any sign of a political party or group holding any convention. They were supposed to, and INEC was supposed to be there. This was at the velodrome this morning.
But the David Mark-led faction has held their convention yesterday. They have held their convention yesterday. As you can see, the place is empty. This is supposed to be the venue. No delegates are on ground, no party members, no accreditation is going on. Everywhere is empty. No officials are here yet. But if there is any update, I will be bringing that to you soon. So there are no officials, no delegates, no party members, no arrangements going on here. Once again, this is 10:32 a.m. at the velodrome at the National Stadium in the city of Abuja, the venue of the Nafiu Bala-led faction of the ADC, the venue of the convention, that is supposed to hold today. This is the venue, and this is the current situation report of things. This is the venue where the Nafiu. But
don't worry, there's no convention. It's crazy, right? But they are all waiting for the court. It's actually really crazy though, okay? This Nafiu Bala guy is the only one. Is claiming to be the chairman, right? He's the chairman because he declared himself chairman. And he's also vice chairman. He's the secretary. He's national vice chairman for all the zones. It's got no other person around him. And he's laying claim to the party that he's got no members on his side. You know what I mean? I mean, he managed to get, I think, 3 or 4 state chairmen who once granted an interview, presser, that they are not with David Mark. Hang on. I think we are mixing it up. Nafi Bala Group Day, Dumebika Shiku Group Day. Abi? So there are others who are like a state chairman of ADC who are currently claiming to be loyal to Dumebi and Kashiku, their former presidential candidates, right? You see this Nafi Bala and Bejide guy. Those ones are with Bajabia, Mole, and the rest of them, okay, which is through the presidency. What happened? Like, did they change their mind or change the venue? I was looking all over the internet today, looking everywhere to see any glimpse of what happened after that morning. I couldn't pick up on anything. Maybe they didn't release money. Maybe they did release money, and Nafi Bala knows that this whole thing, right, is probably just temporary. It's never really going to last. So Alaye kept the money for himself. I'm just assuming, so no fact to back any of that up. Canary Dino, the domestic Canary Dino, was part of the same ADC leaders or the oppositions who granted the press again today to call out the Tinubu's regime and call on the international community to please look into what is going on in Nigeria. KOOLU and his gang are doing everything to deny Nigerians the opportunity to choose. You know what I mean? Like to choose who they want in 2027. So he started reading out all these killings, poverty, the economy and the rest of that, including the borrowing. It's part of, there are reasons why they would want a fair playing ground where Thiefnubu and others will have to slug it out, not get muzzled out of the entire game before it even gets started. And this is Canary Dino with other ADC.
Definitely argue it. Amnesty International just released an evaluation and assessment that since the inception of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, over 10,000 Nigerians have lost their lives. Over 10,000 Nigerians. That is what Amnesty International gave. But we know that it's more than double that amount. Because in Benue alone, over 6,000 people have died within the time that President Bola Ahmed took over. That's the statistics by Amnesty International. In Plateau, over 2,000 people have lost their lives according to Amnesty International. It's so sad that in the last 3 years, we've lost 2 brigadier generals to Boko Haram. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. And I begin to ask myself, they are not just brigadier generals, they are commanding officers of their garrisons. And I ask myself, if this happened in America, will Trump be comfortable in the White House that an American general was murdered, killed like a chicken, and nothing happened? By terrorists. Nobody arrested, nobody interrogated, and we continued as a nation as business as usual. Only one pilot was missing in Iran. America mobilized everything possible to rescue that pilot. But we have a president who doesn't care. Judiciary is on test. We want to see what they will do. And the whole world is watching to see what they will do. I won't say more than that. I also want to say, with subsidy, Buhari borrowed 87 trillion naira in 8 years. Please take notes. With subsidy, Muhammadu Buhari borrowed 87 trillion in 8 years. Without subsidy, Tinubu, so far, in 3 years, borrowed 157 trillion. 157 trillion in 3 years. I want anybody to show me what we have done with that money. This is the first time in the history of the world where a $13 billion infrastructure project, which is the highest in the history of Africa, was awarded without bidding. Awarded to a Lebanese friend. The same Lebanese friend that Tinubu carried our second highest national honors, exclusively reserved for the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, GCON, put it in a briefcase and exported it to Paris to decorate a business partner, a Lebanese man. This is not the Nigeria that Awolowo dreamed of. This is not the Nigeria that Azikiwe spoke of. This is not the Nigeria that Sardauna Amadu Bello labored for. Really, may the labor of our heroes past never goes in vain. As I wrap up, you will see from his speech when he was addressing his coordinators a few days ago, Mr. President prompted judiciary because he called our convention illegal. So he has constituted himself to now be in a court. He has the power to declare what is legal and what is illegal for a matter that is pending in court. And as at today, No court in Nigeria have pronounced our convention illegal. But addressing his coordinators, he was giving a body language and signal to the judiciary by addressing our convention illegal when no court.
Dino. Oh, there is more. I actually took it from the back. Then I'm going to take it to the front, all right, where he was talking about, in fact, I'm going to actually play it before I say something.
Presidential, definitely argue it. Amnesty International just released an evaluation and assessment that since the inception of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, over 10,000 Nigerians have lost their lives. Over 10,000 Nigerians. That is what Amnesty International gave. But we know that it's more than double that amount. Unpresidential. Very, very unpresidential. Only someone with arthritis of the brain will react in such manner. And he went further in that interview to even say that to show desperation, to show that he's confused. He even told us that we want to scare him. For saying we want to scare him shows that he's already scared. And really, we are going to scare him. We will continue to scare him. Out of that desperation, he said, him and Buhari now, that they are the same. That he is the reincarnation of Buhari. And this is Tinubu from Irakpiji in Osun State. Buhari from Daura in Katsina State. Where they jam. Meanwhile, every loyalist of Buhari is either in jail or being harassed. And yet you say you and Buhari, you are the same. It shows that he is a man that is holding on to the straw. He's appealing to the sentiments of the North because his days are numbered. And finally, I want to call on all members of ADC across the country that in an unjust society, silence is a crime. All tyrants in the world, when confronted, are cowards. We must put on our seatbelts. The battle to rescue this country must be a battle of no retreat, no surrender. Every one of us must speak, not minding us all his guard. Where we need to protest, we will protest because Nigeria belongs to all of us. Government is not owned by those in government. Government is owned by the people. Democracy will continue to be government of the people, by the people, and for the people. We will not allow Tinubu's type of democracy. Government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu by Sheyi Tinubu for the Chagoris. But we will not allow that. So please, arise, O compatriots. ADC call, obey. Tinubu is the most intolerant president in the world. He's the only governor in the history of the world who had 3 deputy governors in his term. 3 deputy governors in his term. And as president, already he has 3 national chairmen. The man who midwife his election to success, Abla Adamu, few weeks after he became president, he removed him. Ganduje heard the announcement of his removal on TV. This is the 3rd national chairman of APC in less than 3 years. Shows that he's the most intolerant person. My final word to Tinubu is this. I call Chairman Maho. Those who make peaceful change impossible, make violent change inevitable. Thank you.
You know, say Dino can talk. You know that, yeah? Right. He is also part of the establishment, so therefore it can be a sacrificial lamb if needs be, by the way. But yeah, he is there to read the Riot Act to KOOLU that all his gimmicks, all his games to try to suppress them, to try to divide them and all of that, they are all signs of somebody who is scared. And he should be. He should be scared. Just like Rotifmi, Amici, the Ubima, Judas Iscariot, also postulated yesterday or so, when he said that it is not about free and fair elections. It's not about that. If ADC is on the ballot, Tinubu should be worried. In fact, he has every reason to be worried. Mind you, KOOLU himself felt like, no, this one's not. You know? So in Imo State, they are also doing their own strategy. And the reason why I'm actually going to play you this video, I'm going to share with you next, is simply because I want you to listen carefully to what Hopeless Uzodigba or Hopeless Uzodijo was telling his supporters ahead of their 2027 charade. It was linking their supposed survival to the re-election of a KOOLU. Or you want a national appointment, you want national scholarship, or do you want some recommendation letters from the federal government? Then you have to deliver your booth, your polling unit to KOOLU in 2027. Yeah, that's just the base, you know, the kind of like the base for all of their political association. It's about interest. It is never about the country. So, you know, watch this. Hope. I've been a hopeless Uzodigba from Imo.
We are in it again. In a few days' time, we are beckoning again primaries. I have seen all of us in this world. All of us want to contest for one position or the other. But it will be one person at a time. So what should bother us now is if we succeed and I become the person, how will I manage those who did not succeed? And those who did not succeed, how will I manage my inability to succeed, knowing that there is another time? But the most important election that will make us true Nigerians, that will make us have voice at the national level, is the presidential election. So as a committed ADC member, after May 29th next year, the question for those looking for federal appointments, for those looking for federal scholarship, for those who want one recommendation letter or the other, those who want to be favored because they are members of our party. The question is, how many votes did Bola Tinubu score in your votes? We have gone digital now. As of today, we know who are members, registered members of our party by touching one button. After the elections, but through your name and your NIN, we will know your polling booth. One button, we will know how much ADC scored in your booth. So it's no longer before you go to either or not, you take the result of another booth and come to Abuja and say it is the result of vote from Oru East. No. Nigerians know that ADC has succeeded. Despite all the things, opposition has nothing to say. In Imo State, there is no opposition. Tell them, the Governor General, that is not under my watch. That I'm a certified licensed driver. I am supervising the activities in this state. And they know that I know what they know. So, We want to help our people. We want to develop Imo State. We want to create prosperity. We want our children to go to good school. We want the hospitals to work. We want the schools to function. We want drinking water. We want electricity. We will first empower you. You, the weather, you need light. You who wants to go to school, you need good school. You, the teacher, you need the teaching facilities to teach well. When we do these social interventions and the society is functional, every other thing will follow. So it's not about personal interest anymore. So ambition is not a crime. Desire is not a crime. But we should be mature enough to know the realizable ambitions and the ones whose time has not come. And then with faith in God, we'll manage and conduct ourselves well. We are in it again.
Yeah, on the road again. And that's how they have political conversations, okay? Enough to let these guys believe that, listen, guys, you are all going to be taken care of. You have to do something. You must make sure, right, that you deliver your polling unit. And that will be your own ticket, your meal ticket, to get your own portion or ration of the national cake. So do everything with that information. Do whatever you can with that information. But when it comes to the opposition in this state, there is no opposition. They all say that. And sometimes when they say that, I am always like, are they speaking as an individual, which obviously is senseless, okay? To say that you have the authority over millions of people and or how they are going to actually vote, kind of. And any other opposition in the state, they are not really welcome, and be hostile to them. Thiefnubu's strategy for 2027 is a very easy one. And that is, if I go down, all of you are going down. So I can't go down. Therefore, these state governors, who are mostly criminals, they have a lot. They have a lot to hide. And as for KOOLU, who already set them up enough to make them feel like they could do whatever, they could do anything they want, there will be nobody coming after you as long as you deliver your state. So it is a must that you must deliver your state. So KOOLU, how this is a long-term plan that will work, I don't know. But as it is, every governor that is with the APC, and the ones that join them and all of that, they have one single mandate to ensure that they should do whatever it takes to deliver Tinubu. Whether the people want him or not, it doesn't matter. They must deliver him, and they will be protected afterward. But unfortunately, in the process where they are doing all this pick and choose, they are at the same time letting all their members know that once a name is mentioned or somebody is chosen, you do not have any right to challenge it or go against it. If you try that, you will be greatly punished. That's just the message. So in Ogun State, where Dubious Dapo, the current governor, already announced what he called our decision, our leaders we've met. We have chosen this person as the APC governorship candidate. So everybody who has a governorship ambition within the APC in Ogun State will just have to bury it, or they'll be going against the tide. Mind you, other positions are also the same. So one of their new victims, or would-be victim, is Benga Daniel. He is the former governor of Ogun State, and he is also the current senator representing Ogun East at the National Assembly. Yeah, the Senate. Now, Benga Daniel, who is currently again representing the senatorial districts that the Dubious Dapo also want to represent. So as an outgoing governor, he wants to go and retire at the National Assembly. So in that case, he would have to face Daniel. Well, as it is, the No, the person with the power right now would have to oppress somebody without power. They said that the powerful shall choke the weak. In this instance, right, it is the former governor who himself was almost like an emperor during his own time. So they called a stakeholders meeting where everybody from that senatorial district, everyone that mattered, okay, was called to attend a senatorial stakeholders meeting where they will have to make this decision about who is going to be the senator for their APC. Everyone was there, including Dabo. Unfortunately, when Benga arrived, then fenced him. You know what that means, right? They actually shut him out. Then the decision was taken inside. They had to hear about it on social media that Benga would no longer qualify to go and represent APC or as APC candidate for 2027 in the senatorial district. Rather, Dapo will take his place. His reaction outside the gate, I mean, they actually shut him out, right?
You can imagine the game they are playing in Ijebode government for the senatorial meeting. Now they delayed Otumba Gbenga Daniel outside the gate, not allowing him to come in. You can see, not allowing him to come in. They delayed every one of us outside. That is only DA people they want to see the inside. Only DA people that they want to see inside. They don't want to see any other person. The OGD team, they don't want to see them inside. So they said they wanted to do kangaroo endorsement. That they are the one that endorsed that Babiodu. So they delayed everybody. They don't want anybody to come in and see how it goes. So we will not allow that. That will never happen. This is Ogun East Senatorial meeting. Which everybody has right to attend.
No kangaroo endorsement today.
You can see over an hour now. Otumba Gbenga Daniel was outside, locked him outside. They didn't allow him to enter, to come inside to the meeting. Over an hour now. You can see what is happening here. You can see people shouting that they want him to come in, but they refuse to allow him to come in.
ọ̀rọ̀ state tá a bá bọ̀ yìí gbogbo nǹkan tó bá gbà
bẹ́ẹ̀ni
ọlọ́run á dẹ̀ fún wa ṣe. kọ́kọ́ sí wa la wá ṣe mo dẹ̀ ti dé ní aago 10 pé ká wọlé òun náà lè bá wa rí i wọ́n ní ká má wọlé níjẹ̀bú òde òrìṣà Ìjẹ̀bú òde. òrìṣà Ìjẹ̀bú òde òrìṣà Ìjẹ̀bú àgbẹ̀rẹ̀ àríjà o ayé ilé o. Nítorí náà ń kọ́ tí wọ́n bá ṣe nǹkan kan bíbá ilé ní tí mi ò sí ń bẹ̀ òfo ọjọ́ ọgbà. Kiri. Kí ni mo sọ? Mo ní láìpẹ́ kiri. So ẹ jẹ́ kó máa ṣeré owó. Eré o, eré ayò. Eré àpọ̀ máa lò ó ṣe. Eré o, eré ayò.
Oh dear. So, last, they have announced Dabo as the APC candidate, consensus candidate. So what's going to happen now? Benga would have to leave APC. You know, he left PDP for APC. Now he's like, it's pretty crazy, right? You know, that's my state. And I know all these guys. I actually know them, and I know their politics to some extent. Okay. When Dubious Dapo wanted to do Senate in 2015, he went to go and see Amosun. Gave Amosun $1.2 million. He said it himself. He gave Amosun, I think, $1.5 million to support Amosun's second term. So rather than for Amosun to support him, even though he became the senatorial candidate of APC or thereabouts, but he lost to Buruji Kashamu because Buruji Kashamu had a deal with Amosun. The Amosun would do second term. So in that sense, the Ijebus, the Easterners, I mean, we are the Easterners, okay? So we, the Ogun Easterners, would then support Amosun as they put it back then, the arrangement. So they sacrificed Dubious Dapo. Dapo was not happy. So he managed to find his way back to the circle of Thiefnubu's group. Around that time, he got the ticket of the APC in 2019. It was very controversial. They were his own party members were stoning him. They were stoning him when Bokwari went to campaign in Abeokuta. And they raised his hand as the APC candidate. So Amosun out of the picture. And guess what? In 2023, he agreed that by then, Dapo and Daniel, they become friends, you know, of course, against Amosun. Okay. So Benga should go to Senate. It was an easy decision, just like a compensation. Now Benga is in the Senate now, trying to rejig his own political relevance in Ogun State. And Dapo believes that Benga's political relevance, after Amosun already chased him out of town, because Amosun actually dealt with him, he chased him completely out of town. He was almost politically irrelevant when Buruji was alive. Remember? No? Of course, remember. Now, Dapo brought him back. So Dapo felt like, you know, he's his benefactor or something. So he needs that seat now. And Benga was like, no, I'm going to go for another 4 years. That's what is happening there. Fortunately, Dapo is going to be their candidate, except something changes, and Benga would just probably have to like find something else to do. I don't know. There's a young man, they call him APC praise singer in Kwara State. They have done the same thing to him as well. Here.
Salaam alaikum sir. Lónìí tí mo lọ submit letter ní party, letter of intention mi. Ìgbà tí mo wá submit ẹ̀kọ́, wọ́n á padà pè mí, Alhaji Mustapha ṣe padà pè mí pé kí lorúkọ mi, báwo mo ṣe ń jẹ́. So mo wá sọ bí mo ṣe ń jórúkọ mi fún wọn. So later, wọ́n á padà sọ fún mi pé torí pé wọn ò submit orúkọ mi láti Ìlọrin West, orúkọ mi ò tẹ̀lé pé orúkọ mi ò tẹ̀lé orúkọ tó wà nínú àwọn tó wà House of Assembly bọ́gà jíǹde. So mo sì ti submit letter ní ward tí ward chairman ti pè mí pé wọ́n ti ní káwọn submit orúkọ ní local. Kí ló dé tó wá yọ orúkọ mi ìmọ̀ ìdí tó fi yọ orúkọ mi. So tí ó bá ṣe pé wọ́n pè mí nísìnyí láti state gbé kí n tún orúkọ mi ṣe máa ma ṣe wàhálà lásán. Ìgbésí lẹ́nu kẹ́kẹ́ wọ́n á yọ orúkọ mi láti wàhálà tí mo ṣe ìlú ẹgbẹ́.
I'm move past you. You know I'm rich me guy. I swear to God that talk I'm move past you. I'm move past you again. I'm move past you. Ask anybody. See, you go argue this thing, but I swear to God I'm move past you. You don't see where they move before. Me again, I'm move past you. I'm move past you. You know I'm rich me.
You won't need a car to travel. You won't need an aeroplane to travel. You will just say I want to go to London. And you'll be in London. Whether you believe it or not.
Whether you believe it or not. So what that guy that became teary there, right? What he was saying was that he has been very, very loyal member of APC. He submitted his letter of intention to run for House of Assembly at his own political ward. Now that he went to the state secretariat to go and submit his letter of intent, they now told him that, who are you? Like, they didn't have any information of him running for anything. Then he started crying. I don't know his local government, and I don't know the people he wants to represent, but that kind of a person shouldn't be a politician. I mean, you go see sign before you see wonder. Nigeria politics is a place where there's always going to be signs. But sometimes people just get so carried away by their own fantasies and delusions that the only thing that will now bring them back to normality is when they now see wonder. And that's one thing that some of you are facing right now. Whatever you are facing with KOOLU right now is called a sign. You know, you are seeing signs. You will see wonder. You know what I mean? You will. So, I hope such kind of like CC don't actually hold any serious public office, because they have the easy ones. The easy ones, once they give them something right now, yeah, they get to them. It's crazy though. So he's crying that he has no one because he didn't know anybody. He's not like, he didn't have a godfathers. That's why they are treating him like that, despite all his dedication to the party, everything. Oh dear. Life, he get a CV. Because, you know, in Nigeria, the #1 employer of labor is politics in Nigeria. Yeah, that's the highest employer of labor. You have the categories, those sewage dwellers, those sewage rats, the crumb eaters, the ass lickers, the crumb chasers, the all risers, and the rest. Those are the rung of the bottom barrel. Okay? But when you see any of them who somehow aspiring to, in fact, it's not even like when you see, they all aspire to be like the criminals who are currently looting them, mortgaging their future, right? They aspire to be from that rat hole. They want to probably sit on the gold chair or golden chairs where they themselves can look down on the rest of all those ones in the rat holes and be like, I used to be in that rat hole, man. You know, that miracle. People who have created nothing, invented nothing, but they've got a lot of money, billions of money. So they look down on the rest of the rats in the rat hole there. They'll be like, I used to be in that rat hole. I remember when I used to be poor, you know, from their IOCs, living off the people. And the people, they're on their own. Don't worry, we will fix the problem. We will fix the problem. All of it will be gone in another 1 month. Just give us that power. You know, what they say. Yeah, they always say, I have all the solutions before they assume power. And when they finally get to power, they have all the excuses. That's how they roll. In Bakin Ladi, in a Kasa area, a town called Kasa, in Bakin Ladi, in Plateau State yesterday, people had to take, their destiny into their own hands simply because of the endless, incessant terrorist attacks, the killings, the invasion by all these Fulani terrorists. And it's just never ending. So they took the laws into their own hands yesterday, blocked the main road, the main highway to the states, went after the barricades set by the military in that state. I mean, what's the point? Therefore, this checkpoint with all these sandbags filled up everywhere. But when the terrorists come to attack at these locals, there's no soldier inside. There's no one on site to actually help. And I think that's what led to what happened at Bakinladi yesterday. You heard about Bakinladi very well, right? It's not for something so glorious. It is for the people that have lost their lives for coming from that area, part of Nigeria. Thousands of them killed, turned homeless. Most of their communities turned to ghost towns. For those who haven't really moved, they continue to bleed. Why the criminals in Nigeria continue to do what? Pretend that they're actually in charge, you know? Bakinladi.
RCCG camp. The road is blocked here.
Because they're going to start shooting them. But you got the message, right? The situation is that tense and bad. They didn't want the soldiers anymore. They wanted them to leave. I mean, they've complained many times of the soldiers' negligence most of the time when these attacks are taking place, right? The soldiers won't act because they have not received the order from above. Most of the times, after the terrorists have attacked, killed people, or even kidnapped them, while the community rally around to, or gather around to go after these terrorists, that is when the soldiers will show up to arrest these agitated youth. And sometimes, if they should find anything that looks like weapon on them, knife, blade, or anything, they will be arrested as the aggressors. Yeah, they will be arrested and be taken away. And that technique is to discourage others from trying to want to cope and retaliate on these attacks. It's a mess in that area where people can fight. They pay ransom to get their loved ones back. This man paid 8 million naira to free his 3 daughters from the hands of this terrorist in that same northern Nigeria.
How much you pay?
He said give you 60 million.
60 million naira for 3.
I might give you 8 million.
Muhammad Rasulullah, 8 million you pay for your 3 children.
3 children.
What do those people they carry this money?
Where is Agoda
Road? Sorry, sir. How much you pay?
If you know how many families, how many homes this terrorism have wrecked, and see, we know of tens of thousands that they have killed, tens of thousands they have kidnapped, but that's not the full story. Poor people in northern part of Nigeria, in the middle belt part of Nigeria, have been forced into perpetual indebtedness. Many of them have sold their properties just to pay ransoms to these terrorists, that they've got nothing left. I mean, people who are well-to-do, managing their lives in a way, they have been rendered poor. Some of them have become homeless because their properties, those who didn't sell theirs, are just like burned down by these terrorists. No real compensation coming from any arm of government. No real thing reliable except when election is coming. They needed to use them for this performative show where they can say, oh, they are helping this IDP, taking 5 trucks of grains to go and share to these people in the IDP. There is no shelter, there is no medical, there is no food. It's horrible. Here, the Benue government claimed that they rescued these students who were kidnapped by the Fulani terrorists on their way to go and write this UTME JAMB, and then they got kidnapped, and the other travelers too.
For us to achieve these results, we have to collaborate all the security heads in Benue State. And the operation was a joint operation from the all our men, especially the Operation Wise Group, the Agro Rangers of the Civil Defense, the Civil Protection Guard, of course, the Director That's how it is.
It's a long watch. But you got the message, right? So they rescued, according to them, they rescued 13 abducted victims. And they are mostly school children who were going to write the UTME. Is it called JAM? And then they got kidnapped. Terrorists wanted 100 million for each of them. No ransom was paid, according to the police. But sadly, they presented some guys as the people behind it. Okay. However, those ones were not actually saying they were behind the abduction. It was all muddled up. Anyway, the victims have been rescued, put it that way. Shore said the reason why the terrorism won't end, he has said this many times and he's saying it again, is simply because the people in charge of Nigeria are very much those behind the terrorism. I mean, literally, okay? So if you say, literally, you say, those who have all the resources to track down the terrorists and their sponsor, and somehow they have this, or they do not have the political will to pursue that while they watch Nigerians killed by this aimless terrorist. Sure.
Sir, Plateau indigenous have protested against the military and tell them to leave their stage for shielding terrorists.
The military that is integrating terrorists into its organogram is a terrorist military. That is the reason why when somebody asked me last week, when am I going to visit Plateau? I said, how many times can you visit Plateau? You finish the visit, they'll kill again. You go back, they'll kill again. You go back. The solution is to get rid of the commander-in-chief of the armed forces who is not protecting you. Make him a one-term president as a lesson for his failure in the security sector. Appoint, well, elect those who are capable. Elect Shore, and you, in 1 week, I promise you, all these terrorists will be on the run. Because the terrorists that you see in the bush are not the real terrorists. The real terrorists are in this Abuja, in this Federal Ministry of Justice, where Malami used to be. Malami used to be one of the people who enabled terrorists. He's the one who took money from terrorists who were sent, whose names were sent from Dubai, and helped them to get their money back that was frozen in America. Malami. So these are the real terrorists. The moment you get rid of them, you cut off the life supply of the terrorists. Terrorism will reduce. And you get police to be doing police work instead of arresting people for evaluating bad bread. Can you imagine that the police force is still arresting people for reviewing bread? And this is supposed to be the new IGP that everybody said knows what he's doing. That's because I bailed somebody out for reviewing bread. I bailed somebody out in Ondo State last week for reviewing turkey. They sold a burnt turkey to her and she put it on her status of police came and arrested her in Ondo State. That's the police force. Police is supposed to be everywhere, collecting intelligence, movement of terrorists, prosecuting them, instead of prosecuting on behalf of people who have nonsense cases. So by the time we return our police to real policing, terrorism will reduce. By the time you reduce, where you get the Navy to stop escorting stolen crude, the waterways and the seaways will be safe. By the time you get the DSS to stop harassing people, husband and wife matter, rent matter, you know, they'll be able to gather intelligence. By the time you get rid of Tinubu, you will get back your life. But as it is now, you have incompetent people everywhere. And these people are wicked, I'm telling you. Tinubu is wicked. His deputy vice president is wicked. Akpabio, who is barely alive, is wicked. Even when they are dying, they are wicked. So Nigerians must decide what you want to do with your lives. And if you decide early, we'll get our liberation even before election day. Because the moment they see that everybody has shifted, they know that it is them versus us. Yes. As I've always said, you don't have to wait till election day to be liberated. No. Election day is just one day in the calendar. We can decide today that these 10,000 people against 200 million of us, we don't want to see them again. We don't want them in our lives anymore. Let everybody just say that. Let them know wherever they go,
Boom. So it is that date that people are yet to arrive at. The day whenever they'll be like, we are done. We are done with all these lies. It ends today. Today. I don't know how you're going to play that out. But yeah, people are using their own means and ways, okay, to, be revolute, so to say, okay. So they use every means to expose what they think is wrong because they wanted something to get better, right? So I'm going to take you to Enugu. The people in Enugu state continue to call out their governor and the government, especially in the area of infrastructural decay, infrastructural development, which is very much like hype. This is not, some of them say they are not really trying to make the guy look bad. They just want him to possibly see what the people around him are likely not showing in. Here is one of them in Enugu.
Eba Obechara Junction, Isako axis. We have been lamenting of this place for how many? For up to 8 months now, since Udumiri Bidore. Kita kaya kwa charmoto mare, eba no za ada. All this place needed is just to even patching. Ordinary patching can help. Not more than how many people have fallen down here today. We have been on rescue mission. All the ministers which are maybe rescue mission never. Just as that is a filling station, as you can see. At the front of Benin is a filling station. People are suffering here. This cannot continue. Ordinary patching is enough to do this place. Ordinary patching. We are not asking for much. The local government chairman can do this. Even if the state is not coming now, the local government chairman can handle this project. It's not construction. Just patch this road. We are begging you.
So because everybody is begging them, or even though they are also saying that the local governments are now collecting their allocation directly, local government autonomy, which is a lie. It's not true. However, they say local government gets more money now. Do they? No, they don't. Because everything still goes to these state governors, where Peter Mba is the governor. They were supposed to be building smart this, smart that, smart this, smart that, smart school, smart hospital, smart road, smart, but they are not really smart. Not really. Here is another individual who did a very kind of like a detailed explanation of another infrastructure decay.
Have not really been touched by government, maybe the local government or the state government of Enugu State. So let's see this road and criticize that. Now this road for over 6 to 8 years. I think 8 years now. Now this is a beautiful flyover. That's AK, MNA, and NPC flyover, right? This is Abakaliki Highway, right? Now this road has gotten so bad that no commuter, no big vehicle can pass through it, you know. And this road still is one of the most connecting roads to various communities. This is a Obinagu. So this is Obinagu here, number 14 Obinagu Road, yeah. So I'm calling on the government of the day, His Excellency Peter Mba. Please come and look into this road. So we can't have this beautiful flyover, you know, connecting to this. This is a flyover. This is just newly built. I think the longest flyover in Southeast. And then we have this bad road connecting to it. And this road connected to Nchatan Chanike and also connected to somewhere at, in fact, a lot of places. Now, most commuters are no longer using this place. In fact, majority of them are no longer using this place because you either fall or you either spoil your own vehicle. I'm not even sure that there are some places that is so bad that you can't even cross. Now businesses are really shutting down here because nobody wants to come through this road. It's been 7 to 8 years. I mean, this road have not been built for like since I was in university. Yeah, university. So please, His Excellency and people who are involved in working this road, please, I beg. I think it's time for us to look into it and see whether we're going to do that. And you can see there is not even I think the last time they built this road was during the era of Sullivan, the end of Sullivan's tenure. That was the last time I heard that they built the road. Gutter is good, but the road network is bad, very, very bad. So as you can still see, I'm moving down this road. It's still as this is rainy season. So rainy season, you can't get any vehicle that moves this road. You can't get anybody. And you know the sad thing about it is that a campaign period is here. It's here, and they use this road as point of contact to people of Obinago and then Chatancha. They will say, they will build this road for you people. Vote for me. This and that. I think this point. Please, government, come and build it. And now tell us we have built this road for you people. Come and vote for us. Hey, we will vote for you guys. You can't see a car that will risk its life to pass this particular road during rainy season. Is that terrible? Very, very terrible. I'm still here, right? So I was still made to understand that the residents.
Hola. Hello.
Baba Mayegu.
Baba, how are you?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to you. How are you doing, Baba?
Happy New Year. I'm doing well. It has been a long time.
I know. And I've always been here.
How is your family? I know. How is your family, Baba?
Well, thank God. I mean, we are grateful.
Okay.
Thank you for asking.
Thank you. You know, I always admire you. I always pray for you.
Thank you.
For your enlightenment. I always put you in prayer. You that have this time to be doing all those good work, awareness.
Thank you.
To us to know, even though that you may not be alive, you have created something that will never go away, because this is a very huge awareness you are creating to all of us who are living in diaspora to be aware of what we are doing. My name is John Eze, calling from Boston, United States of America.
Bless you, John Eze. It's really good to have you back, Baba.
Thank you, sir. I was watching your program yesterday, and I demanded one of our brother who called in and said that Nigeria citizens are insane. They have a very big, serious, I would say, sickness that is holding us. When the police people was protesting in Abuja, the lady was calling Tinubu, appreciating him and praying for him. I say that is insane. That is insane. Somebody who is holding you down, somebody who is pitching, who holds you on your neck, that you can't drink water, you can't breathe. He holds you, choke you, that you will die, and you are praying for that person. You see, Nigeria can never be better. I don't know how I will address our people living in Nigeria. I don't know. I watched that thing yesterday. I was crying. I was crying inside my house, shedding tears. Somebody who has served was crying. Somebody who you know that have choked you on your neck, that you can't drink water, you can't eat nothing, and you are praying for that person. That means something is wrong with your senses. Your thinking faculty is not working. Your thinking faculty is not working. Something is wrong with your brain. You need to go psychiatrist and they don't think, check something, either you are normal. So, having said that, I have been telling you this time without number. The Carlo had become a stumbling block for Nigeria since he has read and know what Nigeria is all about, and he exposed them. So I stand on the Kano.
Yes.
Divide this country. Let everybody go. I am not happy what is going on in that country, but I have seen, I read the history. I have seen what is going on from during the time of Yakubu Goliath. I read the history within Yakubu and the Ikemba Odume Wojuku. But I realized that this man who is fighting Nigeria to be one. Go and see what is happening in Plateau State. Is it the Nigeria that Yakubu Goliath fight for? He's seeing his people dying. He got nothing to do. His time has gone. He can't stop it. There is nothing he can do about it. So keeping that country one is like getting a hot firewood that you have burned, and the charcoal is very hot. You're putting it on top of your head. Listen, I keep telling us, also we living in diaspora, when we are doing something that we are doing and thought that is not going to hurt us, we are lying. Why do I say this? Tinubu traveled to United Kingdom to review what is and their business, to renew their business. And I see Nigerians standing, singing, or your mandate, you shall stand. But you are living in the United Kingdom where there is light, there is water, there is road, there is bridges, you are walking, they are paying you, you have food stamp. If you are under state, you have food stamp. Every month, the government gives you like £200 to add for what you have to go get your food. You are standing, singing for him, or your mandate is a stand. But remember that it's not all your family that is living in United Kingdom. Maybe, let me say, all your family members, all your siblings are living there. You have relatives, you have a father side. They're not living in the United Kingdom. You have a mother side. They're not living in the United Kingdom. So you are going to pay. Either you do not pay with your siblings, you are paying with your mother side or your father side. So we have to be very, very careful of dealing with Tinubu. We are killing ourselves. We are destroying this thing, this life that God gives to us. I call one young Igbo man, Rudolph, who always do his program. I said, talking about America fighting Iran, that is not your problem. Your problem is you are Nigerians. You say you're a Nigerian man. You are here talking about America who has stabilized. America never lack of power. America never lack of roads. America never lack of anything. And you are asking them, why did they go to Iran? Iran is your brother. Iran, your mother comes from Iran. We are talking about that people are dying daily. In your own very eye, you can't do nothing. And you're telling me about Iran and America. So I don't know what I will say. I told you this, I said, anytime people ask me where I'm from, I said, I'm an Igbo man. Where is Igbo? Igbo, they are in Nigeria, but they are still looking for their own separation. Because before I was asking myself a question. Let me ask you this question. Before they colonized Nigeria, what was the name of Nigeria before they colonized Nigeria in 1914? What is the name of Nigeria before?
That's no name. Because, I mean, it wasn't in existence. It never existed. Everybody was just doing their own thing in their own space at the time. And we all had our own, we all have our identity at the time. But yeah, prior to 1914, right? But they finally say, okay, this is the Niger area, the Northern Protectorate, Southern Protectorate, the blah, the blah. There was nothing called Nigeria before then.
I am crying. This thing can never stop. Tinubu have told us. Tinubu have
an end, Baba. It's just
when is it going to end, Baba? Is it when we are wiping? Is it Baba? Is it when we wipe out? Is it when it's going to war? But nobody is doing something about this situation that we find ourselves, Father. Nobody is doing something. The awareness you are creating. Remember that people will be there criticizing this awareness.
I know. I mean, we can't say people are not doing something, all right? Maybe not enough. And the reason why it's not enough is that we are more divided now than ever. And I am not trying to give excuses, so I'm just trying to point out factors that have made it almost like impossible. Because, like you are just pointing out now, these issues, or this particular issue, shouldn't be difficult to discuss with other reasonable people. You know what I mean? But it's difficult because people are biased, people have their own prejudices, and that makes that conversation so difficult. And then the solution almost like impossible. I believe that with time, right, that's going to change because those who are unbelievers before, with the failure of those they are trying to defend, now I hear a lot of people say, let's break up this country, man. This country need to break up this country. But those are the people that never really entertained such. So the more they failed, the more the idea of a peaceful breakup of Nigeria will be more appealing to a lot of people. So I am kind of optimistic. John, is it? I am. So I'm not.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. One, before you go, I keep telling this to our people. I know that none of us will, anybody that I hear, Mazen and the caliber of it. You see that everything that this man was saying was real.
Yes.
See, when somebody gets angry and they see that there is no hope for a common man, you want to just divide yourself and take the home by your heart and want to do something about it. Let them release this man. Let this man go. This man, his prophecy is real. This man has God sent him to come and preach that gospel. And that gospel that this man preach is the reality. Let them allow this man go and see his family. He has a family. He is a family man with kids. Let them leave this man. And what this man has said is reality, is truth, and nothing but the truth. Papa, may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord strengthen you. In the name of Chukwuka, we pray.
Thank you so much.
Have a good night.
You have a very good afternoon too. Good evening as well. So thank you so much for that. My time is almost up. You know, we usually have 3 hours for Mayegun's Diary Political. And just because of all this setback that we have suffered in the last, for the past 7 months or 8 months, it's been like this. People don't get to receive notifications. And sometimes when they receive the notification that Mayegun is live, it would have been like an hour or an hour and a half after Mayegun was already live. So it's crazy. So to those of you who are here, thank you so much for your time. Remember, you should like the broadcast as well. That helps. I've been told, you know, we have 800 people watching, 900 people watching. It would make sense if all of us try to like the broadcast. Honestly, it works. So try it. If you have liked it already, don't do it again. Okay. So we're in Enugu earlier, but Still a few other things to share with us, but maybe I will just share them another time, but not without this one from the elders in Benin, who decided to go traditional in battling with drug abuse in their communities. They are placing curses, or they actually placed curses on those who are selling kolos to the young people in their community. Yeah, this was from Benin, Edo State.
Say no to colos, say no to eyes, say no to dangerous drugs. Anybody where they sell out for this community, the ancestors of this community go kill them.
That's all. Send it to Kolos. Not be lie, the way they do and say good because you want too much.
The ancestors of this community, the land of Okweso, anybody, man or woman, when they sell kolos or anything for this Okweso, the way no one come out, now the ancestors of this community.
No, Kolos. I will not be. I don't know why, but I will cool anyone. Awa le mana jiji ni no fi ayo wa da o we lo we ni aku ni no fi ayo wa we ni aku ni ma we no fi we ni aku no ku ni aku a ti me me no wa a ni no ma ye I make a lorry or make fine.
Say no to dangerous drugs, say no to kolos, say no to... Or they had to involve the ancestors, so... Hey. And that's something about us, okay? As Africans, you know, usually they will say, when you die, okay, you go and rest. It's not always like that in Africa, because to us, the struggle starts from when you were born, through your adulthood, and then when you die, they don't still let you go and rest. They will turn you to ancestors, because people they will be consulting you. There will be consultation every now and then, calling your spirits. Our ancestors, we need to come. We need you, all of you, to come back now and kill everybody that is selling kolos in this community. Imagine you, ancestor, will die like 1910. You had no idea what is kolos. But your great descendants, they are now calling you by our ancestors, come back here and come and help us tackle people with the smoke colos. And then you realize that people with the sell colos, they are not dying. And you're wondering why the ancestors are unable to get them, because when they died, there was no colos. Most of the things you are even asking them to come and do, most of the things we ask them to come and do, by the time they find their way back, or their spirit find their way back, right? Ordinarily, there's so much changes. Everywhere is different. And they are wondering, what are you talking about? Like, they go after the people that did this. We want you to deal with this. You mean those guys who are carrying AK-47? Now, wait with that thing. Wait with that stick they are carrying now. AK-47. AK-47, what's that? It's gone. Gone. So ancestors can be a little bit, confused. And that is why most times people will say, they are just there. They don't respond. How do you want them to understand what we are dealing with these days? You call them with all this, and sometimes when you even call, when all those shinaps, all those hot drinks, some of them are fake. So you call on the ancestors with a fake drink. So ancestor drinker on the porch. They won't have time to come out, go after the people you are sending them after. It's all crazy, though, or cultural tradition. Many of those things that we were told kept us safe for centuries. I don't even understand the theory, though, right? But yeah, when you see those who are selling drugs, report them. That's the right thing to do, if you can. Report them. I don't think ancestors can deal with anybody selling drugs or selling coolus to anybody. Should get the law enforcement agents, rather. Well, talking about law enforcement agents, I just saw Judas Abureo. I mean, you've been following the Labour Party, Wahala, the court cases and all that. It hasn't really ended, though. Initially, I thought when the Supreme Court kind of ruled in favor of Nenandi Usman, the lady was supposed to be the Peter Obi faction. Then they were supposed to be recognized by the INEC, but INEC didn't recognize her until after Peter Obi left the Labour Party. I didn't know that Judas Abure was still in court. So a court ruled today, they call it appeal court, ruled against him today, because he is claiming that the convention he held at a hotel in Enugu, Abina, Imo, I can't remember. So he held supposed Labour Party convention at an hotel, in Uwiri, and declared himself winner as the chairman-elect. So that is why they are in court. Something kind of like struck me when I saw him this afternoon. Is Judas Abure sick? Distress me.
Well, I've seen the judgment of the Court of Appeal today, and I want to say very clearly that that judgment is not acceptable to members of Labour Party that is led by my humble self. I want to say clearly that that judgment is against all known established principles of law. The courts, the Supreme Court, and all courts in Nigeria have stated clearly that matters of internal affairs of a political party or issues of leadership of a political party are internal affairs of the party. It is also not true, and I disagree, when people say the tenure of this executive has expired. That is untrue and very, very unacceptable to us. Nigerians will recall that on the 27th of March 2024, we had a valid convention that was held in Enugu. And that convention is still valid and is subsisting for 4 years. And I want to say clearly that the court didn't even look at that to arrive at the conclusion that tenure has expired. I must also say very clearly that the Umuahia meeting, which produced the caretaker committee, was also against the Labour Party constitution. It is only the national chairman, national secretary of a political party who has the power to convene any NEC meeting for any purpose. And therefore, I want to say very clearly that we are going to appeal that decision. The decision is not acceptable to us. We reject it in its entirety, and we we have put our legal team together, and we are going to file appeal and move to the Supreme Court. Thank you, and God bless you.
And the person where they tell Peter Obi to go back to Labour Party with that too. You need to pay attention to all these happenings. If you are interested in politics, pay attention. There is probably no political party right now that has no legal wahala in different courts. That's that. So thank you so much for your time, everyone. We can probably call it a night now, okay? I'm going to see you another time, but remember, if you haven't liked the broadcast, like it now before you go. So I'm going to see you another night or another day. Good night. Udaro.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Mayegun dayari political. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjò. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjò. Mayegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjò. Mayegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjò. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjò. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjò. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràjò. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. oníkanṣá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o àyè.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
ìmọ̀ yìí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. ìmọ̀ yìí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.